your approach. The approach gotta be more gorilla on it.
I got censored, man. I got censored. I was doing the Tonight Show, and they told me I couldn't say the word retarded. And I'm like, why? And they're like, 'cause it's offensive. And I'm like, to who? I guess I was 9, and my mama, my grandmama used to let me stay up late on Friday nights and watch Johnny Carson. And then I had to go to sleep for a little bit, and then my older brothers and sisters would wake me up to watch the Midnight Special or Saturday Night Live or whatever. And I was making jokes at the TV, and everybody in my family who was hearing me was laughing. And I thought it was great. You know, like I would take a premise that Johnny Carson just said the setup to, and then I would do a punchline. And there was a lot of times over a monologue, like 2 or 3 times, where I got the same joke Johnny did, or my family thought my joke was funnier. Now they might have just been shining me on because I was a kid, I was 9, but that's when I knew I wanted to, that I thought it was fun. The first time I did it though, I was 13 at a church camp talent show in Mobile, Alabama. It was a big convention, and I did really, really well. And later on that night, I made out with a girl from Prattville, Alabama, and I got to finger bang her, and I was in. That's when I knew I wanted to do it. Women have been a big motivating factor in my life, my whole life. What made me want to do it professionally, I won a talent show contest in 1989 in Fayetteville on US Highway 71. It was a Shakey's Pizza. And I won a talent show contest, and that night an ugly girl blew me. And because she sucked my dick, I was in. I was never want to do anything. I had no ambition to go to college and do all that shit. I just want to tell jokes. And they told me mentally challenged Americans, and I'm like, retards? It was 2 weeks before we started Last Comic Standing. I didn't even know the show was in existence. And, you know, there's been other times throughout places and stuff, you know, where I met the Comedy Showcase, Danny Martinez, in Houston, Texas. I went in there and they took me on as a student of comedy. And then there was other times where I did a standing O. I got on my audition set at the Laugh Factory on Sunset, and I got a standing O when I auditioned for Mitzi Shore, Comedy Store, and got sent to the main room. But when people started really recognizing me was after Last Comic Standing. So a real pivotal point was like a week and a half before. I was in Hawaii headlining with my girlfriend at the time, and I was working, and it was a Thursday afternoon, and Jay Moore called me, and he goes, dude, I got a show, and I need you to audition for it. And I'm like, what's your show? And he goes, it's called Last Comic Standing, and it's gonna be a comedy competition among comedians. And I'm like, dude, I don't think comedy competitions are good for comedy. And he's like, what, you think these motherfuckers are better than you? And I'm like, well, no, honestly, I don't. Alright. He goes, well, come and prove it. Okay. When's the audition, JJ? It's in 2 days, on a Friday. A fucking Friday. That's like the busiest day for comics. And I'm in Hawaii. 6-hour flight away. Alright? And I ain't got paid yet, and I don't have a lot of money. Alright? I mean, the airfare was $900 round trip, and I had to come back to finish out my week. So I couldn't just take a one-way back. My rent back in LA was only $1,100. So, I mean, you're talking a shitload of money on an audition. And so I told Jay, I go, you know, fuck off, man. You know me, you know my jokes, you know what I do. Just put me in. And he goes, dude, I can't do it. NBC's playing this real white. You gotta come out here and do this. I said, well, okay, who am I auditioning for? He goes, Bob Reed and Ross Mark from The Tonight Show. I'm like, those motherfuckers know me too, right? And he goes, dude, you gotta come. All right, fine, fuck it, I'll go. I went to, I flew in, took a red eye after my Thursday night show, and I did it. I went over to the audition. It was on the NBC lot, and I went in, and they had you walk a long way, and then they give you 3 minutes, and you walk up there on the stage, and you do your time. You're for 3 minutes. I just flown all night long, and I get up there, and I'm mad as shit. All right, I'm like, you know, you only gave me 3 minutes, and you knew I was fat, and it took me a minute and a half to get my big ass up here on stage. And then I started berating everybody, and I just went up in my set, and they stopped me. They're like, no, it's okay. That's all we need. I'm like, all you need? Motherfucker, I just flew from fucking Hawaii to do this goddamn stupid fucking audition. I need this shit. Let's go. And they were like, no, you don't understand. We want you to move on. You completed the audition. We think you're hilarious, and we want you to go. Okay, all right, fine. So I do the show. I do the audition, and on a flight back to Hawaii later that day, make my shows on Friday night. Come back on Monday. Monday night, they have us meeting up at the Laugh Factory, and that's when it all starts. But that moment, I mean, my wife and my girlfriend at the time put that ticket on her credit card. Without that, nobody would have known me. I wouldn't have, 3 platinum albums and a 4th one on the way. I wouldn't have Comedy Central. I wouldn't have been on Last Comic Standing. I wouldn't have done a lot of things. And I probably wouldn't be married, and I probably wouldn't have a baby right now. So that's been a big, huge, pivotal moment in my life.
Okay, first things first. No tard has ever been offended by the word retard because they're retarded, okay? If they are offended by the word retarded, then they're probably not that retarded, okay? Go back to work, you big-headed Korean.
It's tough. It's a little tough. It's not as hard on me as it is on my wife. It's hard different ways. When I'm out of town, my wife is basically like a single mother. And when I'm in town, and it's hard for me because I'm out of town, I miss being with my wife and baby. And so usually we work together a lot. But this week's been kind of tough, and with everything coming, we're going to start bringing a nanny on the road so it's easier for us because we're both going in different directions a lot. She's headlining this week in Nashville. She's doing a couple of days. And, I'm here over in Kansas City, and it's a shame that, we're trying not to let the baby interrupt the career because it's important. Both things are very, very important. Mm-hmm. Her career, my wife's dreams and her ambitions, and what's going on with raising the baby is extremely important. And so both those have to be balanced out. But when we're with our baby, I think we're with her more than most people are with their child.
It's the people around retarded people who get all upset about the name retarded, right? So what's their answer to a word like retarded? Mentally challenged American. That's way more offensive than retard. That's a name most retarded people can't even pronounce. That's a lot of syllables. That's a long way to go. We're dealing with people who got short attention span problems. Most tards will get halfway through that, then drift off into something else that ain't even connected to where they started. We're like, I'm mentally. I like chocolate milk.
Your approach gotta be more gorilla on it.